She dug her head into his shoulder, clinging to the familiar comfort of his body. He loved her. He'd always loved her. I chose the wrong brother, she thought. Inside the house, a door slammed. We need to go, he repeated. I'm scared, she confessed. You'll be fine. You'll forget all this. I won't. You can try, he said, kissing her. I don't know how. Yes, you do. You'll manage. I know you will. Another kiss, and the baby will never know. England. Chapter 1. Saturday, the 1st of March, 1941. The milk train from Exeter St David's to Paddington was near empty, and at a standstill on the wrong side of the Devon border, thanks to bomb damage down the line. Rose, who'd got up before dawn to catch it, was on her way to the Goring Hotel in Victoria. A 25th birthday afternoon tea with her Uncle Lionel and older brother Joe. It wasn't her birthday, but since that fell on the 29th of February, it was as close as she was going to get to one until the next leap year in 1944. Another 5 minutes, and you'd have skipped the date entirely. Her parents could always be relied upon to write in a card from wherever in the world they happened to be based. Ceylon, for the time being. Just a fraction too impatient to arrive at your own party. Tiny, perfect, but with such a pair of lungs. The way you used them, we were sure you'd realised your blunder. She almost felt like wailing now. Not over today's party, which she was relaxed enough about getting to. She didn't have to be at Victoria until 3. But the much-needed trip to the shop she'd planned to squeeze in first, and for which she'd risen so painfully early. She hardly relished the prospect of Oxford Street's queues on a Saturday, but stockings, hard enough to come by in London, were as rare as bananas in Devon, and she was on her last pair. Shivering in the frozen carriage, she huddled into her coat, stared through the window, out at the fog of steam and morning mist, the sheep clustered on the icy fields, and thought longingly of her rickety bed, the warmth of her landlady's flannel sheets, and the extra hour she might as well have stolen between them. The farmer opposite her, her only other companion in the carriage, huffed then, for what was surely the 100th time, got up, peering down the train's corridor in search of the harried conductor, who'd already informed them that he had no idea when they might be on the move again, and was now, quite sensibly, keeping well hidden. The farmer had told Rose at the start of their journey that it was imperative he wasn't late into Reading. Imperative. He was on his way to a weekend meeting of the regional agricultural committees. He'd sounded rather proud of the fact, and Rose had suspected he'd been waiting for her to ask him more about the day's proceedings. She hadn't. After an endless winter working as a secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture, holed up in a tiny, oh-so-quiet office on an old dairy farm, just outside Ilfracombe, she'd rather had her fill of talk of wheat quotas, arable land allocations and livestock provisions. She only wished that when, back in October, her Uncle Lionel had tentatively proposed the role to her, offering to pull strings at Whitehall to help her secure it. A place she could breathe the sea air, he'd said, find some peace after the grim events of September. Come to terms with the child she'd lost, or at least move on from her dismissal from the Air Force. She hadn't moved anywhere, 5 months in, and the thought of that horrendous disciplinary hearing still made her cheeks flame, in injustice, shame. She'd listened to her brother's warning that she was out of her mind to consider it. It'll be grim, Joe had said, the dullest of purgatories. You don't need peace. You need distractions, less time to think. Try the Women's Territorial Service, why don't you? He'd given her a smile, half teasing, half sad. I've heard the army let anyone in. She might yet give them a go. She was fairly sure her unfortunate boss, the very elderly, very sweet, very polite, Honourable Hector Arden, wouldn't stand in her way. He'd probably be glad to see her in khaki. That way